and most people choose between two. They either choose, as you've correctly said, either technical or fundamentals,
Okay.
and it will all depend on which one.
Beautiful. So don't forget our beautiful and exciting JSE prize hamper we'll be giving to the viewer who is most engaged, especially pertaining to the topic of today, which is different methods of selecting shares. That's it for our first segment of the show. I hope I've really caught your attention. Up next is the Buzz Investors, ACCP Onyinye Kennedy, and Cleaver for President, ACCP Letabo Mashinini, right after the break. Hello, everybody. It's me again, Mboya Arnold, and you are watching, and it's not by mistake, on Facebook or on Instagram, the JSE Investment Challenge. And this is where your investment potential comes to life. At this moment, I'm going to be introducing you, as you can see, I'm so excited, to our school winners. So just a fresh reminder for all of you who'd like to be part of this challenge next time, find us or hit us up on schools@jse.co.za. The Bazaar Investors, Onyinye Kennedy, Cleaver for President, Letabo Mashinini. Hello!
Hi.
Letabo,
Hi.
hello!
Hi, how are you?
It is so good to see the two of you. Congratulations on your win again. How are you? Onyinye, let's start with you. How are you in general?
I'm feeling fine. It's a bit cold today because the weather's gloomy, but other than that, I'm excited.
I'm so glad you're excited. And you're from ACCP. What is your school? What is your school name?
Akideo College, Crystal Park.
I am sure you are the talk of the town. Letabo, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. I'm great.
Congratulations. So your team name is Cleaver for President. What is that about, young man?
Yes.
Tell us about how you came up with Cleaver for President.
First, like we had like a normal name, but we thought like to put more meaning into the name. So we thought of like a more meaningful name. So we took it back in history, like Black history. So then we chose the Black Panthers Party. So Eldridge Cleaver was the leader of the Black Panthers Party.
Yes.
So that's how we got our name.
That is so awesome. And I think Ralph can agree with me, it's part of being a winner and really playing the JSE Investment Challenge well is about innovation and creativity and character. What do you think, Ralph?
No, it's fantastic, the effort that people put into their different names. And, there's great opportunity in and continuously winning year after year and being able to brand yourself as a group out there.
So, Onyinye, let's get back to you. What other things do you like doing? How's school been in this time of lockdown and COVID? What are your hobbies? Yes, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, during this lockdown, I have developed a lot of hobbies.
Yeah.
Reading more classical books was one of them. And drawing. I'm starting to get into the habit of drawing because I want to improve that.
Yeah.
And we have like an extra guitar at home that I've been trying to learn, but consistency is also a problem.
And
During this,
go continue, my love. Continue. Yes.
and also, I'm scared to admit, another hobby was eating. Snacking was a big thing. I gained a lot of kilos during lockdown.
All of us, Ralph included. All of us, yes.
But I think with this lockdown, I don't think, yes, we are going through a pandemic, but I don't think that we should be too pessimistic with the situation, because with me personally, I find that a lot of positive things came out from this whole thing. I got to find out my bad habits. I got to find out my family's bad habits. Um, this lockdown definitely exposed a lot of things about everyone, especially with me being a master procrastinator that I am. Um, and going back to school, it was a different experience, especially having to wear masks. It's not something that
Yeah.
we're used to.
Yeah.
Having to sanitize everywhere, it gets irritating after a while, mostly because sanitizing is just not something that I like.
Yeah.
But other than that, this lockdown has been a journey, 2020 in general.
You know what? I love what you're saying. And as Ralph was saying, you can be an artist, you can be a creative, you can be a musician, and still be in good stead in even an opportunity to be a winner on the JSE Investment Challenge. Am I right, Ralph?
Yeah, we've had so many people with different backgrounds, and it's just a great opportunity. And the bottom line is, it's such an easy platform to be able to navigate. If you've used the internet before, then you'll have no problem in being able to look for companies, push the trade button and the sell button, and that's all you really need to know.
Onyinye, Bizarre Investors. How did that name come to be?
When you look at the spelling, it's a bit bizarre in itself because it's not actually how you spell it.
Yes.
But what we were trying to accomplish was a clever play on words,
Yes.
a pun, if you could
Yes.
call it.
Yes.
The BI for bizarre stands for business, and the ZA stands for South Africa, and the R at the end stands for Rand. And I think what we're just trying to say is that we're a group of girls who love money and business.
Yes, 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 yes. And it's Women's Month. Okay, you see, I'm getting excited. I'm even forgetting about Letabo. Just hang on there, Letabo. We'll get back to you in a second. Let's just connect, Onyinye and Ralph. Ralph and Letabo can just give us 2 minutes. So tell me about the other girls on your team. Yeah,
Well, there's four of us in our team.
stunning.
The thing is, this is not the first time we actually participated in the JSE challenge. We
Yes.
participated last year, and it's such a nice experience, especially for girls, because you can just tell that girls don't only like doing like Instagram and stuff like that. We are interested in things of money and finance and business and stuff like that.
Financial future, financial security, and financial freedom. Yes, sister, yes.
Yeah.
I am so proud of you. And you know what? It's so exciting to see young ladies of color really pushing boundaries in the sense. So, salute. Really, I'm really impressed. Okay, let's let the guys into the conversation. I'm sure Letabo and Ralph are like, okay, Letabo, congratulations. Again, tell us a little bit
Thank you.
tell us a little bit about yourself, young man. What are your hobbies? How's COVID been? How's lockdown been? How are your schoolmates? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I don't have a lot of hobbies, but I'm a person who enjoys doing a lot of sports,
Yes.
and I really love football. Yes.
Wonderful.
So COVID has been like bad for me because they restricted sports and stuff.
Yeah.
So most of the time I'll just stay indoors and I'll play digital sports like FIFA. It was the best I had. So I really, I really hated COVID.
And how
Yes, I'm glad that it's gone. The lockdown is better
the
now.
lockdown
So
is
since sports are back,
yes. Yes, and how's it been at school during lockdown? You know, is it different? Is it a bit tougher? What are the things that you're finding most difficult?
what I'm finding most difficult is like what can I say? Like the social distancing,
Yeah,
Sometimes a person can't hear you. Yeah.
I hear
So you
you.
have to speak more louder.
I hear you. So tell us about your teammates in Cleaver for President, Letabo.
Oh, a group of four.
Guys.
Yes. Yes, guys.
Yes, tell us about them a little bit.
I can say that it's the first time we've participated in the JSE challenge, so we're a bit new. When we started, we didn't know much, so anything that looked good we just buy. But there have been some arguments on what to buy, where my other team would say, let's buy this, and I'll tell him to relax, but he still continues to buying it without all of us agreeing. So there has been some miscommunication there and here.
I'm so proud of the both of you. So, I mean, are the teachers at school, do they know that you guys are winners? Do they, guys and girls, so that's Onyinye, also I'm talking to Nu, do they help you? Are they passionate about investment? I mean, how's the vibe with people and their knowledge for investing in the school? Or is there a particular teacher that really has made you passionate about being part of the JSE Investment Challenge? Onyinye?
Well, I will give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
The person who laid the majority of our foundation is Mr. Mahlangu.
Mr.
And you can
Mahlangu.
obviously tell that he has, yes. And he's also a math teacher. And you can obviously tell that he has a great passion for passing on knowledge when it comes to financial literacy on kids our age, you know. So, and with the teachers at school, like they're very excited about this whole interview. They've been hyping us up the whole time. And while we're participating in this JC challenge, our goal was to also encourage people at school to also participate and also be an interest when it comes to investment. And it doesn't always have to be the selective few that are only doing this thing.
Perfectly answered. Perfect answered. Ralph, what do you think of just the passion from a teacher to the learners and for learners themselves trying to spread the love of investment because of their own journey with the JC investment?
Yeah, I think it's a critical ingredient to the success of the teams is that if you have somebody backing behind you and being able to assist you along this journey, it's such an encouragement to the teams, and you can see it. Mr. Giba Mahlangu has been involved with a number of teams over the years and their success, and so therefore that passion is clearly coming through with these two teams, and we are very grateful to have teachers like him that are out there month in, month out, year in, year out, dedicated to help the youth with financial literacy and getting them involved in this competition.
So that's a big shout out from Mr. Mahlangu to Mr. Mahlangu from Onyinye and Latabo. So Ralph, I think you can steer this ship. Tell us how the winners are determined. And I think let's kickstart the conversation on the team strategies of our monthly school winners. Over to you, Ralph.
Yeah, so basically how the school teams are categorized as far as winning goes, basically the monthly game for the equity, they need to have the highest return at the end of the month, and that's our game calendar month. It's not the actual 31st of the month. And then the same with the speculator game, they need to have the highest return at the end of that game calendar month. And so that's clearly what these two teams have been managed to do, to be on top of that leaderboard come that game calendar month. And currently we've got another monthly game that's carried on. So every month it's reset. So I'd encourage those that are out there, it's not too late. You can get involved. You can get to the top of that scoreboard. Remember, it's a monthly scoreboard. You don't necessarily have to look at the annual scoreboard. And there's great opportunity out there. So getting on to the questions, I'd love to maybe start with Anya. You've been involved 2 years in a row. Has your strategy at all well done, yeah. Has your strategy at all evolved over time, or have you stuck to the same thing from last year? Or what can you tell us about what you did last year compared to what you're doing this year?
With our strategy, I think one of the things that I can focus on is just always being attentive. And I think we've always done that, being attentive, being vigilant, especially with like your surroundings and the media, whether it's the the TV or the newspaper or whatever, just being attentive and, seeing what companies have to say about what's going on, whether be it dividends, and one of our main focuses, especially last year and this year, that keeps doing well is, commodities, and also just stop loss, to what extent are you going to keep a company that isn't doing that well? And I think those were just our strategies that we kept on for this period of time till we were here.
That's beautiful music to my ears when you say stop loss. I mean, I think one of the keys to actually investing in the stock market is money management, and I don't think everyone out there takes it as seriously as you should, and knowing when to get out of a stock, because at the end of the day, if the stock goes against you, at what time or what price are you going to get out? So I love it when you talk about stop loss, and clearly that's obviously assisted your team to make sure you cut those losses as quick as possible. Letabo, over to you. Are you also been involved in resources or the commodity market, or what has your team really been looking at this year?
So since COVID, we've chosen to stick to safe havens, like the companies that are doing good, that won't be affected by COVID. We also tried looking at some warrants, but however, their liquidity has been a problem. So we've been very cautious, and I think something that has brought us down was our impatience. Like if a company is going down, instead of waiting to see what will happen, we just sell it right on the spot. You see, yeah, that's been our strategy: a bullish mentality, winners take all mentality. That's how we've been.
Lovely, man. Tlubi, I'm sure you can go ahead and ask a question there.
So either one to Onyinye or to Letabo. So which sectors are you really focused on in your individual teams? Mining, banking, where do you like to play the bizarre investors? Let's start with you.
Usually, as I said before, commodities. Commodities that have been doing really well for the past 2 years are mining,
Yes.
gold and stuff like that.
Yes.
And we also like focusing on big companies that are doing well.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what we've been focusing on.
And Cleaver for president, what sector are you interested in?
We've mostly been interested in the companies that were not affected by COVID.
You said
and
so.
we also discussed that we should avoid property companies because they'll be heavily affected by COVID. Yes.
What other strategies, and this is for both of you, or team dynamics that you've experienced in the team? Has lockdown made it harder as a team dynamic for you guys to do the right thing when it comes to investments? Let's go back to you, Letabo. Has it been more difficult during lockdown period? How has the markets been for you during lockdown and COVID?
The market has been tough during lockdown because it was quite hard for us to find the correct companies. And let me say 60% of the time we'd invest in companies that will bring us down. So we've been very cautious in our approach. We haven't rushed into things. Most of the time we just didn't invest, and the companies we had currently, we just stuck with them.
And bizarre investors, what's been the effects of lockdown and COVID?
First of all, I feel like this whole investment challenge during the lockdown really brought us together as a team.
Wow.
Yes, we started doing video calls on WhatsApp and just talking on the group on how economic factors like COVID, this pandemic, influence most of the companies that we have bought. Because obviously economic status can bring certain companies to its zenith or its downfall. So that's also, and one thing that I find interesting is it's interesting to see how certain companies and certain businesses are affected by economic status, because some go really, really well, some
Yeah.
get to their peak, and then
Yeah.
you get some that aren't doing as well. So it's interesting to just like see how things are going.
They sound, and Ralph, I'm speaking to you, this is really where you just want the ordinary South African to be. You know, having a really simple but yet authentic understanding of their environment, of the economy, and also how to make themselves and create wealth for themselves whilst playing a virtual game. Ralph?
Yeah, it's beautiful to see, and clearly the ladies know what they're doing. They've been
Yeah.
involved for 2 years in a row. I know that sometimes they like to go into a shop and find find that okay, this company looks good, and you'll often find that they'll then want to go and see if they can find it on the stock market and go and buy. I'm not sure if Anya has been doing that. She says she's been heavily involved in resources, but are there any shopping companies? When I say shopping, I'm talking retail. You know, any companies like Woolworths, Truworths, any of those kind of companies that you ladies have dipped in this year and bought maybe some shares?
I feel okay. A magician can never reveal his secrets, but
Ooh.
but I'll just say when it comes to retail, companies that we were involved with depend on like medical stuff, especially during this whole pandemic. You know, pharmacies, those kind of things that we've been getting into, those kind of companies. Yes.
A magician can never
I love.
a magician can never reveal her secrets, Ralph.
It's amazing how she's keeping her cards close to her. I love it.
Letabo, just rounding this segment of the show off, and I'd like to end with Ralph asking both of you the last question on your strategies. But I'm very keen, and I'm sure everyone that's watching on Facebook or those who have joined us on Instagram, what books or what television programs or what newspaper articles or or what websites are you visiting just to empower yourself a little bit, to the extent that you've become a school monthly winner on the JSE Investment Challenge? Let's start with you.
I currently don't read any books. In fact, I don't like reading books, but I read a lot of informative articles, and most of the time I'm just watching sports. But some websites like JSE, I'll go on MoneyWeb and see how the stock is doing. Most
Beautiful.
of the time, that's what I'll do.
Beautiful. And you, Onyinye?
Like a Tabo, I wouldn't say books per se,
Yes.
but I've been going on a lot of websites.
Yes.
Investopedia is one of them. MoneyWeb, as Tabo said,
Yes.
and Business Life, and also just going on YouTube because it's good to try and learn more things every day when it comes to investing. Because no one ever knows everything. So yeah.
I love that. Ralph, last question from you.
Yeah, as far as the strategy goes, maybe I'll ask Letabo. Really, do you guys use charts at all? Do you look at the charts of the companies? Are you is that part of your strategy to go and look at the charts, or are you just purely looking at more other detail about the company?
I'd say we do look at the charts. For us, the charts are important. If the chart is not looking good, we'll leave the company. But if we see that the company has potential to bring us like more money, then we'll take a risk and go at it.
Onyanya, do you guys look at the
Yes, we
charts?
do look at yes, we do look at charts, especially just to see how certain companies have been doing for the past few weeks, months, or years. And then maybe you find situations where a company is just doing well, like just like that. So you need to ask yourself why. So the reason why we look at charts is just to see like the progression and how they got to where they are. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So that was our great introduction to our winners, and that is Bizarre Investors with Onyinye and Cleaver for President with Letabo. And of course, we couldn't do it without Ralph Spears, our JSE expert in the house. When we come back, everybody on Instagram and everybody on Facebook, the three of us and you, we're going to take a look at our monthly winners and our overall winners. Stay back for more. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Hlubimboya Arnold, and you are watching the JSE Investment Challenge, and it is the school winners. And we'd like to give a big shout out to Mr. Mahlangu from ACCP, because without him, these learners wouldn't be here. And those winners of the school are the Bizarre Investors. Onyinye Kennedy, say hi. And Cleaver for President, and that is Letabo Mashinini. Say hi.
Hi.
And thanks for joining us again. We couldn't do the show without you, Ralph Spears, our JSE expert. Okay, so this time around, we're going to be talking about our monthly and overall winners. And I'd like us to go through that together with everyone that's watching on Facebook, on Instagram. But before we start that, Ralph, who is currently doing well in the annual competition?
Well, in fact, all will be revealed in these charts that we're going to be looking at. So I'd like to take a look at first at the monthly income game and leave the overall positions for last. So we've got up here, firstly, the income game, and that is the monthly income game that it's currently being played, and that was the winners for the June competition.
Okay.
And so they did very well. It's
Letuka
Lettuce, and you could exactly that's the school.
Yes.
That's been doing extremely well. And you'll actually see them on the annual game as well. So that's the monthly winners for the income game. We can move on to the equity portfolio.
Beautiful. I see Bizarre Investors there. That's Onyinye.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And you can see how they made around 15% for the month of June, and that's the reason why she's here today.
Correct.
We can then go on to the speculator game.
And of course, Cleaver President will be here, of course.
There we go. Let's see what percentage him and his team were able to come back with. Okay. Oh, wow. Beating the ladies, I see. With a percentage return of about 25%.
25%. I see that. Congratulations, Cleaver for President. Big smiles on Letabo's face.
I love the rivalry, and even amongst the teams within the school, it's good to have a bit of competition amongst yourselves. And at the end of the day, the big prize is still the annual competition. So let's go on to the annual board, and I think that's really what's really exciting, is to be able to see how the overall teams are doing. This is obviously over a 6-month period. They started in March, and you see the income game is really about the amount of income that they've generated. And so the top teams are looking at about 135,000 rands in income.
And I see
and
that's
again, it's
Letuka. Yes, and that's from
exactly
the school from Katlehong. Yeah, beautiful work, Letuka.
Beautiful work. Beautiful. So let's go on to the equity game,
yes.
And we can see what's happening there.
There we are.
Okay, so the equity game, we've got the profits of profit. and they're currently in first place, and they're sitting at about 1.6, so about roughly about 50 something percent return that they've made over the from the start March and now until the 6th of August as of yesterday. But very importantly, which is very exciting to see, the Bazaar Investors are third place.
Smile, Onyinye, smile. That's better.
And
Wonderful.
that's amazing, because at the end of the day, not only is she competing, her and the team are competing for the monthly prize, but they're able to still compete for the annual game, and hopefully
Excellent.
they keep out of it.
Excellent.
And then lastly, we've got the speculator game, and there you can see again the charts coming up, and we have got Profits of Profit again in first place. And I must point out that you can only win one game at the annual game at the end of the year. And it's important to note, and for those that are listening, just out of curiosity, you need to understand that we audit the game as far as income, then equity, then speculator. So if your team is in the top 5 positions in any one of the positions, we will take that as your position for the year. So if you're in the equity game and you land to be third on the equity game, that will be your position for the year. So at least the teams need to understand we audited from income, then equity, then speculator. If you've already won something in equity, you cannot win something in the speculator game, and therefore we will then look at some of the other teams that have been participating for the top prizes there.
Congratulations again to third overall in the school speculator, and that is Cleaver for president. Yes? Well done, Letabo. Well done, Letabo. How are you feeling about being in the overall categories, Onyinye and Letabo?
It's pretty surreal, especially now that it's our second time in a row, and also having not known anything about investments and stock exchange, and to almost becoming gurus at it. So we're very proud of ourselves, and we want to pass on that knowledge to everyone else so that they too can participate in the JSE challenge, because this is an opportunity for people to learn about these things.
Letabo, third overall speculator. How do you feel?
I must say it's quite hard to be there, because you always have to tread carefully, and it's hard to like gain on the other teams if they are pulling away. But I must say I'm proud of our team. We're doing good for now.
We are so proud of you, and thank you for representing, your school and your age group and being winners, and just being so humble about it and willing to give out that knowledge. And as we close off this link, there is still that JSE hamper, everyone on Facebook, everyone on Instagram, for that viewer who is most engaged in the topic of the day. Ralph, just to close up this section, any questions that we can answer that have really consistently come up, especially when we're dealing with the schools challenge?
Yeah, I mean the key one is, and we're still getting people inquiring even after these broadcasts. Can they go and start playing the game? And the key is that you can go and register, you can go get still involved, and therefore we'd like to encourage anyone that's watching this broadcast, both live or should you be watching a recording, you can still participate right up until the end of next month. So therefore, go ahead and click on the links schools.jsc.co.za and get involved.
Wonderful, wonderful. When we come back, we'll be announcing that winner. And I think we have to have a great words of wisdom to our young school winners of this month's JSE Investment Challenge. See you in a bit. me, and we're back with the school winners of the JSE Monthly Investment Challenge. And this month, we are really focusing on the schools, and the school winners are, drum roll please, the Bizarre Investors, Onyinye Kennedy, and that is the equity portfolio. And, drum roll please, Cleaver for President, Letabo Mashinini, speculator portfolio. As we wrap up this episode, I really want to hear from the both of you. What do you think are the greatest characteristic traits that you have or your team has to really set you on the monthly leader scoreboard? What has made it work for you as a team and as an individual?
I think the one thing that worked for us is just keeping in control of our emotions.
Wow.
Because when you're dealing with something like stocks, seeing your money accumulate gives you joy, makes you happy. But then when you see your money go down, it also makes you sad. So just keeping in check of your emotions, and also just not being too greedy. If you see, especially with us last year, we saw that we were going up on the scoreboard, and we're like, yes, what other things are we gonna buy to make us go up? And that wasn't the point. We were missing the point. The whole thing was that successful things take time.
Oh my goodness.
So you need to. Yes.
Letabo?
What I would say worked for us was our ability to communicate with each other any time of the day.
Wow.
And also our patience. We've been very impatient from the start. So I think after the COVID, we've told each other to be patient and not rush into things. That's what worked for us.
I'm blown away about the emotional intelligence, Ralph, of these young learners. What else do you think we can learn from the JSE's investment in our young people, just like our winners this month?
I really would like to say that, ladies, it's clearly Ladies' Month this month, and I'd like to say that ladies make great investors.
Really?
And I think if that's a message that for all the ladies that are out there, try and get involved. And in fact, I'd like to actually just talk about tomorrow. If you are watching this live, tomorrow there is something that the JSE will be hosting for Women's Month, and it's all around She Invest. And so if you're interested to participate, please go visit the JSE website, our corporate website, jse.co.za, and you as ladies can learn more about investing. And I would really like to encourage everyone. It's a great opportunity. It's free, and it's there tomorrow. And lastly, I would just like to say Happy Women's Day to all of you, and including you, Tlubi and Onya.
Thank you so much. We receive it, Onye. Hey, we receive it. An announcement of the winner, the most engaged viewer, Ralph, for today?
Yes, I'm actually going to park that one because the most active person was Elroy again, who happened to be our last broadcast winner. And
Okay.
so therefore, we're going to go and actually bring it along to the next one. So do stay tuned for the next one, and we would love to have you all engage.
Incentive to log on and tune in to our next investment challenge. From me, I really, really had a special time with our winners, our school monthly winners, and that is Kiva for President, and that is the Bizarre Investors. I'm really felt, and as an adult, and as an artist, and as a creative, I really felt empowered, and I really felt that I too can do this. So if you're feeling a little bit of imposter syndrome, I think our young winners have showed us that anything is possible, that you're never too old or too young to start something new and be successful at it. Registration process reminder, please, Ralph, before we say goodbye.
Yeah, for all those who are watching, at schools.jsc.co.za, click on the top right-hand corner and you can follow the registration process. We'd love to have you part of it.
Thank you so much, Onyinye. Thank you so much, Mr. Mashangu. He's going to watch this recording. He's going to be ish. Thank you so much, Letabo. I couldn't do this without you, Mr. Spears. I am so excited. I feel so motivated. I really hope that everyone is feeling so inspired this long weekend. And as always, I like to sign off the JSE Investment Challenge with me, Boya Arnold. In the words of Benjamin Franklin, an investment in your knowledge always pays the greatest interest. Stay warm, stay safe, and save lives, everybody. Have a wonderful long weekend. Bye for now.